Welcome back. It was one of the UK's shocking child murders, something that you probably remember very well. A 2-year-old toddler, James Bulger, snatched from a shopping centre in Merseyside and brutally murdered by two 10-year-old boys. One of the killers has a parole hearing which started today, but the mother of little James Bulger is urging the board not to release him. Let's bring in our reporter Ray Addison, who can explain it all.
Thanks, Emily and Pip. Well, it was February the 12th of 1993 when 2-year-old James Bulger was snatched during a shopping trip to the Strand shopping centre in Bootle in Merseyside. Now, just 2 days later, his body was found by children on railway tracks just 2 miles away. He'd been tortured and killed. Now, Jon Venabales was 10 years old when he and Robert Thompson murdered James, and after 8 years in jail, they were both freed on licence and they were granted lifelong immunity, rather anonymity, I should say. But in 2017, Jon Venabales was jailed again after child abuse images were found on his computer. Now, not only could Venabales be released, but James's parents have been barred from attending the parole hearing. Instead, Ralph and Denise have issued impact statements begging the parole board to keep their son's killer behind bars, and of course terrified that Venabales will reoffend. Now, in her plea to the parole board, James's mother, Denise, says, "Look into my eyes and see what I've had to deal with for 30 years, 3 decades of hell. Make the right decision for everyone and keep my son's killer behind bars." Now, of course, during the parole board hearing, the panel will look for any evidence that they can find of behavioural change in Venabales. They'll question key witnesses like psychologists, his probation officers, and if he's willing to give evidence to that hearing, Jon Venabales himself. If they decide that Venabales poses what they call a manageable risk to the public, then he could be released before Christmas. Now, of course, this comes as the Victims and Prisoners Bill is actually going through Parliament. Now, that's promising tougher measures aimed at strengthening the parole system and actually making public protection, the government says, the top priority in deciding which prisoners are actually safe for release. It will also give ministers greater oversight and the power to overturn release decisions for the most serious offenders.
Thank you very much indeed, Ray Addison. There. I mean, it's horrific what has happened. What's interesting with this parole hearing is that the parents of James Bulger will not be allowed to attend. It seems in the court of public opinion, which of course does not matter in this instance, a lot of people saying he should not even be up for this hearing, should not be considered even.
Yeah, we will, of course, bring you up to date.